This past fall, leaders from across the healthcare space gathered at the Health 2025 USA Conference in Las Vegas to help transform the next decade of healthcare. I was on the ground where I spoke with several C-suite executives, including Carrum Health founder and CEO Sach Jain. Here's what he told me about the space.
We are at the moment in this country, healthcare costs are kind of spiraling out of control at the moment. In 2025, the cost went up by 8%. And for next year, the cost is projected to go up by almost 9%. In any other sector of the economy, if the cost will go up like that, people will be in the street. And employers who, bear a big brunt of that cost, they are running out of ideas. They are, going through a situation where they just can't take it anymore. And so in that environment, any solution that delivers immediate and proven cost savings becomes very attractive. And in our case, we are fortunate that our solution does that. And it also helps that the solution not only delivers cost savings, but also improves member outcomes and member experience. So as a result, we are seeing a huge traction in the business. This year, we started the year with roughly 3.1 million lives, and we are ending the year with roughly 6.7 million lives. So essentially, we acquired more lives this year than our first 11 years combined.
Why are employers turning to Carrum Health, and what are some of the companies that you're working with?
We are focused on specialty care and bringing a value-based care solution for specialty care. And specialty care is roughly half of the total spend of employers, and it's growing at a rate faster than the rest of the spend. And so it's not a surprise that employers want a solution that addresses the specialty care issue. And addressing specialty care is challenging. It's not like you can create an app and that will change everything. In our case, we had to build our way to offer a specialty care solution that could be a viable solution for employees across the country, and that required building out a national network of these high-quality, value-based care-focused providers, and it takes time. So I will say, in our case, roughly 4 or 5 years ago, we reached the critical mass of that specialty care network that made our solution viable for everyone. And in a marketplace platform setting, once you are able to hit that critical mass, you see the acceleration in the demand for the business. And that is exactly what we are seeing right now. And the demand for the solution is across the board. So whether you are a public sector employer, and we have some of the state government that are using Carrum, or a private sector employer, and we have employers that are Fortune 10 companies, Fortune 50 companies across retail, financial services, transportation, all those different sectors. I will also say the solution is equally appealing whether you are in a blue-collar industry or a white-collar industry, whether you are a small employer with few thousand lives or an employer with almost 500,000 plus employees in your workforce. And the reason for the broad appeal is that if you are an employer in a tight margin industry, you're looking for cost savings, and our solution delivers that. And if you are in a white-collar industry, you not only want savings, but you also want better outcomes and better experience, and our solution does that too.
What are the trends that you're seeing in the market right now?
The biggest trend is the frustration among employers with the legacy PPO network setup, where providers are paid for doing more as opposed to doing what is right. And that's one of the primary reasons that the cost is out of control. So employers are making a hard pivot towards asking for more value for every single healthcare dollar they're spending. And from that standpoint, we are seeing a huge demand among employers for solutions that are delivering that higher value. If we do a double click and look at the specialty care level, across almost every single specialty, employers have an issue with the rising cost. And when it comes to some of the top specialties that are driving the cost, cancer care is one of them. And their Carrum did years of R&D to create a value-based care solution that addresses the core issue with oncology, which is the treatment. And the solution has been very successful in the market. And employers are also not shying away from asking more from their vendors. In our case, one of the large retailers came to us and said, well, your solution is working for all these specialties, but we have a big issue in substance use disorder. The out-of-network spending in substance use is out of control. And they wanted a solution that reduced that, but also make providers accountable. And we brought a substance use disorder solution to the market. Other thing I will add there is when employers are realizing that a solution is working, they are not shying away from leaning in. So a lot of our employers, started with Carrum in a voluntary model, but are now increasingly asking their members that it's a requirement to use Carrum. And that just leads to higher utilization of the solution and higher savings and overall better outcomes. So this year, all these new lives that came on Carrum's platform, nearly half of them are coming with employers that are requiring the use of Carrum solution. But overall, I will say, from an employer standpoint, if they don't do something, this crisis will not stop. So they got to do something, and progressive employers are very thoughtful about this and doing all the right things to make sure they don't get caught in the storm.